Hello and welcome to Oklahoma Master Woodwright. We are a little tiny workshop, art studio if you will. Our work is in wood and wood products for the home. We build custom furniture, other wood products for the home. Everything we build with the intent of it being a work of art, a functional work of art. Again, we're Oklahoma Master Woodwright. You can find us on Facebook under Oklahoma Master Woodwright, or you can find us at oklahomamasterwoodwright.com. Anyway, this is our latest project, Labor of Love. It is a dining table. It will seat 10 people easily and hold a feast of food that you've never seen before. This wood came from one tree. Everything here is from the same tree. The gentleman that commissioned me for this piece of art, this table, asked three things of it. He wanted it to be large, he wanted it to have removable legs, and he wanted to demonstrate this live edge. This live edge is the reason this gentleman took this tree from the woods. Now, understand that this is cherry wood, and when he discovered it in the mid-90s or thereabouts, it was suspended above the ground, hanging in the woods. Apparently, it was an area he liked to go hiking or hunting and was out there quite a number of times. And one time he walked close enough by to see how this grain on the edge was just protruding and coming to life in a way unseen on basic items you would normally find. So possibly the age of the tree or being suspended above ground helped create some of this. I truly don't know, but it was what caught his eye, and it was the whole reason for him getting this piece of wood. So he went out in the wood, somehow got it down on the ground, cut it into 10-foot sections, and dragged it out with four-wheelers or what have you. He later took it to a mill, had it cut into slabs 1.5 inches thick, and then took it home, put it in a barn or a garage or something, stacked it with spacers, and sat there for 3 years while he sought out someone to make him this table. So I met this man, and he started talking to me about the wood, and one day we got together and looked at it, and I said, absolutely, this grain to me was something that was so dynamic and not seen, in other words, extremely rare, that I couldn't resist. So this is our version of a live edge dining table for 10. When he brought it to me, it was all rough cut and lots of cracks, lots of deficiencies. The very first thing we had to do was set it aside and make sure that it was bug free. We sprayed it all very carefully with a product that would not harm the wood or stain the wood, but yet would eliminate any living creatures within the wood. So we made sure that was taken care of. Then we had to mill it. We mill our own wood here. So we dimensioned it, we cut the cracks out, we ran it through our planers and joiners and got all our edges the way we needed them, and then started the assembly. This is all glued together. There is no mechanical fasteners other than the 5 screws you see at this end and the 5 screws you see at this end, and we'll get into why these are here in a moment. This table is various sections. While our goal is to make this table look as if it's one big tree that the middle was cut out of and we turned it into a table. That's the goal of what we want it to look like. We realize that that's not possible. So we have taken the various thicknesses and usable woods that we got out of this and assembled them all together. We've kept the grain obviously runs, if you will, in a north and south direction, and if you look at either end, you'll see that this additional thickness layer that we put in, we kept the grain going that way. We never want to see it cross grain. The reason being is the grain runs north and south, if you will, but yet the expansion and contraction of the wood, especially in a solid wood table such as this, the grain will expand in the east and west direction. So we wanted to keep that north and south pattern alive down here so that everything, if it does have any type of expansion or contraction, it will expand and contract together. This is not permanently attached. Remember, he wanted removable legs. The joinery that I'm about to demonstrate to you is arrived at from timber framing. So while it is mortise and tenon, which timber framing requires, we took this technique from the timber framing style and applied it to this table. So without saying anything more, I want to show you how the legs are put together. First off, this one is already in, and as you can tell, the other side is going to be the exact same image. This piece is simply put in there. Now, this piece, we angle it in such a way so that we would have straight angles. If we didn't do this, we would have an oblong hole cut. So we did a tongue and groove right here, and you can see it is extremely solid. It's not going to go anywhere. The same thing up here. We have dimensioned this to fit in the hole, and as you see, it has no connector. We don't need a connector there. This end here will go all the way through the wood, and you can see there is a hole drilled here. This hole is drilled at an angle for a reason. We want that hole so that the peg will not slip through. We want that peg to wedge into the wood, and we'll show you more about that as we assemble it. So we're going to start with this piece here, and let me get our stretcher. And I have labeled these. We know that this end goes in this end because everything on this end is tagged with our logo. It's just a handy way for the customer to remember in years to come how that is to be assembled. In the assembly of this, it's really quite simple. If you look closely here, you can see that we have what would be called the tongue right here, and then we have the groove down in here. This is the solid wood just shaped, and this is the square hole that is quite time consuming, if you will, to make square holes in wood. So we're going to set it up first a little ways back, and we're going to get this piece started just ever so gently. Then we're going to move back and we're going to get this piece, get it placed into this hole, and then gently holding this piece, we're going to tilt it back until that slides in there. Then we slide this one here. Now we're ready to walk it into the groove. And all we need to do is just gently slide forward and set it in the groove. Now, once that's in place, you will recall I told you how we made these holes so that they were angled. If you look, there are pegs. They are wedged. We simply take it. Now this is upside down, so we take it this way, and once it turns upside down, this peg will never fall out. Same thing with this one. Wedged and put in. Flat side against the edge of the table, and I put this one in backwards. This is the top. It's supposed to be on this side. So we're going to walk this back out.